welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video going to be a player analysis, player profile video for a young player called Oscar Zambrano. He is currently a 19-year-old Ecuadorian player. He's been on the radar for quite a number of different clubs just recently. Been following the story for the last few days, and at the end of last week and even yesterday there was mention that Bournemouth were right at the front of the queue and were about to sign him. However, stories coming out this morning via his club in Ecuador and his agent are saying that there's not been a formal bid and there's no kind of agreement and there's never been any proper talks for him. Celtic have been following him since the summer, and he has, as I said, been on the radar for quite a number of teams, but no one has yet, apart from Luton, apparently made a formal bid for him. The bid of $3 million from Luton was turned down. So now going to put in a 3-4 minute highlight reel for Oscar Zambrano. This comes via the Ultras FC TV YouTube site, along with a copyright disclaimer. Zambrano usually playing in the number 5 shirt for his team LDU Quito, and this is a mixture of games for his club side Quito and also for Ecuador under 20s level. So hopefully you enjoyed that 4-minute highlight reel of Oscar Zambrano. There is a full 7-minute version on YouTube from Ultras FC TV from around a month ago, and a slightly older version, which is about 5 minutes from the same company. And there are a number of other scouting and highlight reels on YouTube for this player. He is, as I said, 19 years old, soon to be 20 in a couple of months' time. Has played 14 times for Ecuador at under 20 level. Was recently one of the players of the tournament at a World Under 20 competition. In the last World Cup qualifier window in South America, he was on the bench twice for the full international side, and so is obviously a highly rated player at home in Ecuador. He has now played 48 times for Quito in their first team. His stats are 1 goal and 1 assist, which is not terribly impressive, but his primary role, both for under 20 level and for Quito, is defensive midfield. And so goals scored and goals created are not the key stats here. However, the key stats for a player of his position are high tackle success, which is the case for him, high rates of interceptions, which is also the case for him. He also has got an excellent rating for crucial passes, and so it does look like he is a player of great potential. And I think personally, a player who would be good enough to come in and start for Celtic on a regular basis in the defensive midfield role. He does also push forward into a more central midfield role, and so would have that degree of versatility. Looking at the highlights reel, my impressions was he was a great tackler, played very well just in front of the back four, very good at linking play from the defence into the midfield and out wide. I thought he had tremendous vision and a really good ability to pass from deep out wide or over the top for the strikers. I think he has a lot of pace over a short distance. 19, one might wonder or worry a wee bit about endurance and fatigue levels. He is 5'9", which is the same height as Scott Brown, just a wee bit smaller than Callum McGregor, and so perfectly able to play that defensive midfield role. Does look like a player who can fight through a challenge, a strong player, and also a few examples from the highlights reel of a good ability to shoot from distance. Although getting into the box doesn't appear to be one of his skills as yet, but I think with time that would be something he could very much do. And I think if he plays that more defensive midfield role, that then frees up Hatate, O'Reilly, McGregor, etc., Paulo Bernardo to get into the box and score goals. I think at the moment Callum McGregor maybe is being wasted a wee bit under Brendan Rodgers. I think with the introduction of Paulo Bernardo, that has been lessened. McGregor's been more back to his old self. I think similarly, if we get a regular midfield of McGregor, Hatate, and O'Reilly with Bernardo as backup in the second half of the season, I think we're very well set. I think bringing in Zambrano at this point would then give him some time to get used to Scottish football, get used to Scotland, and then next season really kick on and be a regular starter for Celtic. I think also it would give us a bit of flexibility in European matches of playing a slightly more defensive formation in away games, hitting teams on the break, and being much tighter at the back. So I basically was very impressed with the various different highlight reels and scouting reels through the internet and through YouTube. As I said, he's on the radar for several different clubs. He did have a trial at Ajax in 2022, which fell through without there being a contract. He's been on the radar for Bournemouth, Luton, and Wolves. Luton had a £3 million bid turned down. Man United have said to be watching him too, but feel that he's maybe too young to cope with a move to Man United. He's also been high up on scouting from Brazil, such as Sao Paulo, and America, with Major League Soccer, such as Colorado. Bournemouth were said to be at the top of the list and about to sign him. However, as I said, the story coming out this morning was that has fallen through. Bournemouth haven't actually put forward a bid, and it would appear from another couple of news stories what Bournemouth were intending to do was sign Zambrano from Quito and then loan him out to potentially Hibs, as the chairman of Bournemouth is looking to buy a stake in Hibs, or loaning him out to play in France, Belgium, or even New Zealand. So I do wonder whether if Celtic got in there quickly, made a formal bid, said, well, if you come to Bournemouth, they're going to farm you out to Hibs, so why not come to the Scottish champions, have a good chance of cups and leagues and Champions League games, and become a better and better player. Ange Postecoglou took a wee bit of a similar risk with Matt O'Reilly, who obviously over the next few years has really blossomed into a very high-class footballer. Slightly more risky, obviously, with Zambrano coming from Ecuador, English not being his first language, and being just that wee bit younger than O'Reilly was when he came to Celtic. However, Lee Labado was the same age when he came to Celtic, and that has also worked out exceedingly well. So I think personally Oscar Zambrano is a highly talented player. I think he actually could potentially do very well at Celtic. I think he is, after a few months of bedding in over the course of this season, supplementing Bernardo, O'Reilly, Hatate, McGregor in midfield. I think he then, in the 24-25 season, could then really kick on and be a very important player for Celtic in Scotland and in European football. I do wonder whether Brendan Rodgers and the Celtic scouting team think it is too risky, with him being 19 and coming from South America, not being English with a first language. And also I do wonder whether maybe Celtic have missed the boat, with, it would appear, Bournemouth being ahead of Celtic. And then Zambrano obviously then has to weigh up whether playing for a team that's a perennial lower third and relegation battling side, whether that's better, with the risk of obviously dropping into the Championship, or whether coming to a big club, big reputation, big fan base, and European football every season, and also high chances every year of 1, 2, 3 trophies every year. So we'd be delighted to see what you feel yourself. Obviously, with things as they are in the transfer window, things can change quite quickly, and so going to keep a close eye on developments with Zambrano. But as I said, the stories this morning are that Bournemouth don't have his signature. There's not been a formal bid, and so it looks like any move to Bournemouth is further away than Bournemouth and their chairman were boasting. So for today, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, do click that subscribe button, click the like for the video as well if you've liked the video, and as I said, do feel free to pop your comments, thoughts regarding Zambrano, his qualities, whether it's too late, too risky, etc., into the comment section. So goodbye and hail, hail.